Hello, my name is Brumbaugh. I'm entering the Jiu-Jitsu Heaven competition for Torrance, California with Henner and Huron. And let's get started with my questions. I was working construction at the time, and a coworker told me about a martial arts he was doing. He was doing Jiu-Jitsu. I had no idea what this was, and he was telling his partner, one of the other guys that we worked with, how good their training was last night, and got me really interested. So he asked me to go on the internet and check out different things and look at the first UFCs and all this kind of stuff, and it really caught my eye. I've been training with Anibo Lobo Jiu-Jitsu for about 3 months now, and before that I was training in Hawaii under Aaron Moeller, and right now I'm training 4 days a week or so and just trying to keep active and stay in the gym. All through school growing up, I was never a very popular kid, and because I never had the self-confidence to be myself, or to speak up when I thought something wasn't right, or even just simply get in front of a crowd and make a speech. And I did not handle confrontation very well, and I just kind of stone up and not even give any thought or consideration or just anything, and just be stoned up kind of wall person. Nowadays I speak my mind, and when something's bothering me, it's not a problem to speak up and challenge what somebody says if I don't think it's right. Because of the self-defense incorporated in Jiu-Jitsu, I've had a lot more confidence in public and in my surroundings. No matter what I'm doing, I'm always aware of what people are around me and what is going on, and it doesn't bother me as much to be in public, to be around mass amounts of people at one time. It's made me a lot more aware of what I put into my body. When I go to the store, I read what's on the labels, and I don't put a lot of junk food in my body, and it just really makes me conscious of what I put into my body, because I know that it will affect my jiu-jitsu game in the future. Also, alcohol, don't drink a lot of that, just because I don't want to come into class feeling like crap the next day, and it really gives me the drive to think about what I'm doing, even physically. If I go out and ride a dirt bike, I'm going to be thinking, is this going to affect class tomorrow? Is this going to affect me going to jiu-jitsu in the future? It's also made me a more respectful person to my parents, to my friends, to my family, to everybody. Jiu-jitsu has humbled me so much that it changes the way that you look at things, and you're grateful for a lot more things, and you just appreciate things a lot more. Well, for instance, first night I went to Jiu-Jitsu, every time I went, they were doing line trains. They would have guys line up, and then other guys join up in their guard, and they just roll. And I'm walking around at 210, 205, and I have to roll with a guy that's 135. I'm sitting there, I'm, licking my lips saying, yeah, this guy's gonna get it, kind of thing. Just totally thinking I'm gonna beat him and work him over. So I jump in and I just give him all I got, and he's sitting there laughing at me, and he's calm, and he's just moving his hips, and he's doing his things, and next thing I know, I'm putting him in a triangle. Next thing I know, I'm being put in an armbar. And just the fact that somebody so small against a bigger opponent can do that without any problem at all was just like mind-boggling to me. And if you're too old, you got to think about Elio. How old was he when he was practicing jiu-jitsu? He was in his 90s still doing it. So you don't have that excuse. Too young, you can start as old as 5, as old as you can pick your head up and take directions. You can be in the gym practicing jiu-jitsu. If you're too weak, if you're overweight, anything like that, there's no excuse not to come in here and train. It's such a transforming thing that you will not regret it. one roadblock I had was in Hawaii. Christmas Day, I was at the beach and I was on the cliff. And what would happen is the water would hit the cliff, jump up, and then rain back down on you. And I thought it'd be cool to go take a picture and go say what's up kind of thing. So I go and I stand right next to the cliff, and a wave comes up and over the cliff and drags me about 50 feet over the rock and the lava and everything like that. Totally just hamburgers the whole left side of my body, and there was no way that I was training jiu-jitsu. There was no way I was going to be able to do this. It almost broke my foot, and you know, all I did, it kept me out for about 3 months. And what I did is I just self-medicated, stayed at home, come to class and watch and give input and help when I could, but I couldn't be on the mat, and it was very hard for me. And eventually I was able to slowly start coming back and start training again. And then my big roadblock was on June 6th, 2010. I got MRSA. I got it in my hip, and I went to the hospital 3 times, and they still didn't admit me. They couldn't find anything wrong with me, and they did X-rays and MRIs and CAT scans and all these different tests, and they say, sorry, there's nothing we can do. We can't see what's going on. So finally, they admitted me for MRSA in my hip, and they rushed me up for emergency surgery, and I was in the hospital for about a month, and then on home IV antibiotics for another month after that. And I couldn't train at all. I tried going back after I was all healed up. I went back 3 times, and because of the MRSA, it ate the muscle around my sit bone, and so I could not do jiu-jitsu. I went 3 times, and all 3 times it bruised my sit bone and made me limp for another month. So I thought I was actually done with jiu-jitsu. But over time, working and walking, I walked so many miles at my job, 15 miles a day, and my car broke down, and I had to end up riding my bike 18 miles to work every day, there and back. And I think that extra little push gave me the extra muscle that I needed to come back to jiu-jitsu, and now I've been doing it for 3 months now, and I'm totally fine. And I gotta thank Anibal Lobo Jiu-Jitsu for helping me see that and helping me finally recovering and being back on the mat, and it's been an awesome experience ever since. My final goal is just to be able to do this for the rest of my life. Being able to train when I'm 90 years old, being able to do all of jiu-jitsu, and it doesn't necessarily mean I want to belt this, I want to belt that. It's all about the learning, and I hope that I can continue learning for the rest of my life and do jiu-jitsu in a safe manner, especially at a jiu-jitsu place that is strictly jiu-jitsu, no MMA, no nothing. You can stay on the mats longer, and you're able to train at a much softer level and be able to last in this sport. And that's just what I want to do. And I want to thank the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Academy, Torrance, California, for giving me this opportunity and watching my video, and thank you very much.